In order to understand the difference between design that's focused on attributes versus design focused on behaviors, it will help to understand two commonly used terms in domain-driven design: anemic domain models and rich domain models. An anemic domain model is a domain model that is focused on the state of its objects, which is the antithesis of DDD. While the term is somewhat negative, indicating a deficiency, you don't need to perceive it that way. There's nothing wrong with anemic classes when all you need to do is some CRUD logic. But if you are creating a domain model, you've already made the decision that your domain is too complex for simple CRUD. So anemia in a domain model is considered an anti-pattern.
Martin Fowler writes about anemic domain models with such drama that you may never mistakenly use them in your domain model. He says the basic symptom of an anemic domain model is that at first blush it looks like the real thing. There are objects, many named after the nouns in the domain space, and these objects are connected with the rich relationships and structure that true domain models have. The catch comes when you look at the behavior and you realize that there's hardly any behavior on these objects, making them little more than bags of getters and setters. Indeed, often these models come with design rules that say you're not to put any domain logic in the domain objects. Instead, there are a set of service objects which capture all the domain logic. These services live on top of the domain model and use the domain model for data.
What we aim for then is rich domain models, not anemic domain models, when we are modeling our domain. Rich domain models will represent the behaviors and business logic of your domain. Classes that simply affect state are considered an anti-pattern in a domain model and therefore get the nasty label of anemic, even though they are perfectly fine in a CRUD model. While Martin Fowler and other DDDers have strong words to say about anemic domain models, we'd like to share a gentler message, which is to strive for rich domain models and have an awareness of the strengths and weaknesses of those that are not so rich.